Welcome to this week's episode of Unsettle Yourself. This week's topic is All You Need is Inside of You. And I really want to address this because it's been showing up for myself pretty heavily lately, also. And I always get the same reminder and I always get the same message about what needs to happen in order to shift. So I started to feel a little bit depressed, a little bit dark, going down this little hole, looking for um, information, answers, solutions, seeking things outside of me to help me feel better. Whether it was anything from an exercise routine to messages from other people to talking and having, Zoom and chat dates with other people and really looking for something else that's outside of me in order to make me feel better. And every time I do that, no matter what, without fail, the answer I always get back is to go back into myself and to go inward and to reconnect with who I am and focus on myself first. Because for me, like so many, I grew up in a way that, without necessarily being told, but really seeing, I needed to accommodate others. I needed to make sure that others were also happy. I needed to take everyone else into consideration before I even took myself into consideration. And that had a lasting effect on who I put first as I went forward into the world. And I've learned over the last few years how to shift that, but it still shows up. And it's going to show up for you too, especially if you haven't worked on this for yourself. But even as you work on it for yourself, it's going to continue to show up until we figure out the best way for ourselves to consistently look inward first for any answer, solution, or perceived solution to what we find to be our problem, which is some sort of a suffering, some sort of a discomfort within ourselves. And instead of looking outside of ourselves for any kind of an answer, we need to go back in and see what it is that we need and how we can give that to ourselves. And that's the thing that I come back to every single time. And it happened to me again as I was starting to go down this little hole of seeking, I would say, outside validation for certain things that I was doing, and not getting any of it, not receiving feedback, not receiving the things that I thought that I needed. And I woke up with the realization that every time I get like this, it is because I am seeking outside of myself. I am seeking of others, and I am seeking of things that don't actually matter in the grand scheme of life. And when I go back in and I realize that I have all of my own answers, I have all of the solutions, I just need to recognize where it's coming from. And usually that's from the heart. And usually it's a matter of love and giving myself the love that I think that I'm seeking from other people. And it could show up in various forms. It could be in the form of communication, but that is a symbol of what I'm perceiving as love. So if this is something that you do, you're going through this time of suffering or this darkness or depression, it's really, to me, it's an invitation to look at who is in charge of your life and what are you actually in control of. So the answer is, what are you in charge of? You're in charge of your life. And what are you in control of? Yourself and nothing outside of yourself. You are only in control of yourself. And understanding that and knowing that and practicing that, that's the key. You may know this, but if you do not practice it, that is the thing that will tear you apart because you were constantly practicing controlling things outside of yourself. So these are the two factors to understand and to practice, most importantly, that what are you in charge of? Yourself. And who has all of the answers and what are you actually in control of? Only yourself. And in order to practice that, you have to go inward. You have to seek those answers only within yourself. not from outside factors, not from things that are surrounding you and the people that are around you and surrounding you, because they're not going to give you exactly what you need, because only you can do that. So if everything that you need, all that you need in this life is inside of you, then the key is to go inside and not seek outside answers, not seek outside validation, not seek outside help, unless that help is to help you go back in to find those answers for yourself. And that's really the key. And that's the message that I really wanted to get out today, for two reasons. One is nobody has it all figured out, and nobody is practicing this on a consistent basis 100% of the time, and they are perfect. That does not exist. I want to also let you know that I'm struggling and going through those same things as well. But the answer continuously, constantly, is always to go back in and work on myself and put focus back on myself and not focusing on others and not focusing on the outside. And to practice this. This is the most important thing. You can know this until you are blue in the face and tell other people until you're blue in the face. But unless you're practicing it, you're not getting anywhere. And practicing it is the key. So to practice going inward, there are a few things you can do. Maybe there are things that you already know that you can do. Meditation, breath work, those are two extremely valuable key things also. Your breath is your life, and that is, if you can regulate and control your breath, you will see how much easier it is to regulate and control so much more of yourself, your emotions, and your feelings. So, meditation and breath work are always my top two ways in order to go inward. And there are other ways to do that as well. And I ask you to seek what those are for yourself. I personally enjoy sound baths, which are another form of meditation for myself. Stillness, whether you're meditating or not, just sitting with yourself without any other, bombarding, consuming information coming at you. If you can do this in nature, even better, because then you're getting the healing power and the healing energy of our natural resources. So, those are just a few things and a few ways that you can get still with yourself, go inward, and find what it is you truly need from yourself rather than from others, and understand that all of it is within you. And I hope that this helps you as much as it helps me on a very consistent basis. And if you need additional guidance, please feel free to reach out. I hope that you do. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to suffer alone or go through this alone, but also you have all of the answers. And if you just need to be shown how to do that for yourself, I'm more than happy to help. So please feel free to reach out. And never forget that all you need is within you.